UK folks, some of you have craved, but grab your kegs, stop being weird. The government's had a master stroke, it's not a joke. See you in the smoking area. It's time to fucking party. Yes. Chaps, how are we? I hope you're all very, very, very well. Listen, 21st of June is looking absolutely huge. It'll be a night out, you've never seen the likes of before and will never see again. The Romans of antiquity will look upon this night out from the ancestral stars above us. Caligula will look down and think, fucking hell, mate, that's a bit much. Such will be the level of gratuity and excess that we will display. I mean, like you, I'm sure, like me rather, I'm sure that your money's absolutely skyrocketed over lockdown, with nest eggs and trust funds. So there's no excuse, okay? I want everyone to club together and spend, the GDP of roughly a small African nation in one night, okay? I'm talking, the Democratic Republic of Congo, for Congo, yeah, sorry, that's what it's called. For example, but chaps, we must remember, we can't do this alone, and so I say to everyone, pull together your nest eggs and spaff them collectively. When someone calls for more coke and all the wetties say no, we shall say yes. We shall snort on the benches. We shall snort in the nightclubs. We shall snort in the bedrooms and in the lavatories. We will never stop snorting. Never before has so much been snorted by so many on this night. So, to make that happen, there is already a government task force headed up by moi. We're calling it Chango Unchained. That's my joke. Absolutely classic. It's got my prints all over it, that one. And we've got a poster there. Very, very nice. You can see yours truly on Django. Very nicely put together by Louis and Sasha, I believe, who have a very special relationship, I understand. These are the proposals that we've come up with. These will be law. Obviously, if you're watching, you're probably quite posh. A lot of the laws don't apply to you. These apply to you, so pay attention. Okay, firstly, the key workers that sit in the loos of clubs with their enviable command of capitalist rhymes, the sort of no spray, no lay, no Armani, no Punani, no Davidoff, no sucking off. They will only sell champagne and will only accept £50 notes. Alternatively, if you like, you can burn a £50 note in front of them because, as we all know, that is classic. Secondly, Blojo will be broadcasting live at midnight from inside Spearmint Rhino and a Latvian Woman of the Night. Classic. He'll also be accompanied by the Chief Whip, Carrie Simons. 3, oral food will not be served. Nasal food, obviously, will. 4, VIP tickets can be arranged. Matt Cock and his hands will let those who are eligible know, and they can procure their tickets via WhatsApp. It's the best place to get anything good from Matt Cock and his hands. 5, it's up to you which nightclub you spend the evening in. I'll be in Annabelle's. Classic Rafe. 6, dress code. Ideally, if you're a woman, nothing. And if you're a chap, Ralph Lauren or like Bowden, if you're struggling for money. 7, obviously, given how big we expect this night out to be, Dr. Jenny Harries will be heading up the ambulance services that will be outside all the relevant clubs. So don't worry, there will be an ambulance there with plenty of ketamine and NOS to keep us all going through this one. And finally, Chris Wetty has said he's using the evening to undertake a clinical trial on amphetamines. So if you want to volunteer with him, please do get in touch. It's 20 quid for 2 pills and 50 for 6. So, as Matt Cock and his hands dominatrix says at the end of the session, it's time to unlock you now. And as such, this is the last of these Sunday press conferences. I know you'll miss me. It's very much my farewell tour as I move on to being the Minister of June 21. But it's farewell, not in a sort of, Nan in a care home kind of way. Because if you want to keep in touch, obviously I'm on LinkedIn, classic. And, I am obviously a consistent presence on Tinder Gold. So do get in touch there. Quick note on El Vaccinaciones. The over 40s are getting vaccinated now, which is obviously great news for MILFs everywhere. Interesting one, this one, actually, because me and Blojo actually had quite a big argument on it because he wanted to, vaccinate the over 20s first, because that's his preference. And I want to vaccinate the over 40s because I absolutely love a MILF. Secondhand is not necessarily worse. In fact, it's better. More experience, even better. So, Blojo ended up losing that one. I mean, I did say to him, obviously some of the over 20s will have been vaccinated, but he rightly pointed out that it's only the vulnerable ones and they're butted anyway. So, that's the situation there. On schools, quickly, fucking hell, what a boring topic. Exams, whatever. Vaccinate the teachers. Sorry. Who's ringing me? Sorry. That was a Tinder date classic. On schools, quickly, fucking out. Yeah, let her in. Let in the Tinder date. Yeah, cheers. On schools, quickly, boring subject. Vaccinate the teachers, to be honest, no. Yeah, sorry, she's very persistent. Yeah. Just be in the bedroom in 15, okay? Yeah. Poppy, let her in, okay? Let her in, Poppy. Cheers. Sorry, chap. Yeah, schools, as I was saying. Sorry, schools. Should we vaccinate the teachers? To be honest, no. I think it's a stupid idea. I mean, you can't just, it's a slippery slope. Like, first you vaccinate the teachers, then you've got to vaccinate the fucking fire brigade. What the fuck is a COVID jab going to do when someone's running to a burning building? Nothing, in essence. And people will be like, vaccinate the vicars, and then suddenly, it's vaccinate Dylan the fucking dog. We've got a process. Children will be fine. They're robust. If yours do die, re-smog. Yeah, Poppy, let her in. Let her in, Poppy. Poppy, let the Tinder date in. Sorry, chaps. It's absolute fucking nightmare over here. So listen, if your children do die, re-smog has got loads, and I'm sure I'll give them to you. So it's not a problem at all. So teachers can wait. I'm so bored of this, constant, should we vaccinate everyone? Life's not fair. Grow up, grow your own immune system. Because I think the media's behaved pretty appallingly in this crisis, basically I've asked them to wait on the Zoom, but I won't be asking them a single question. Look, you can get it. Look, Keen's back. Look, Keen's back there, you guys, yeah. Look, there she is. Look at her. We've frozen her. Instead of, Katzberg and Piston asking, yabba bullshit, no, vaccines, scrutiny. I thought we'd spend the time, more usefully as Minister for June Van Tayan to do a cocktail masterclass. So we're going to be making the Chris Lissy, okay? So as you can see here, I've got the suitable glass. I've got a cocktail mixer, so you'll need both those things. So, God, sorry. I feel like Gavin Williamson, completely unprepared. So the first thing you'll need is a good, healthy measurement of Cafe Patron, the donor of the political cocktail. Good glug of that. Fucking hell, there's loads in there. Lovely. So then you want to add some cheap whiskey, just to make sure the union feel involved. You don't need a massive amount because they didn't really matter, do they? But just, to make them seem like they've had some. And then a bit of vodka for the Russian element. Some say that it interferes with the cocktail, but I've never thought so. I've always thought it adds to it nicely. Now, we're mixing this Whitty's way, which means absolutely no tonic. But if you're like me, you might want to mix something, mix it with a little bit of Coke. Now, depending on how much Coke you like and how experienced you are, you can have anything from sort of 1 to 5 grams. So I'll just sort of sprinkle a little bit in there. Lovely, look at that. Fuck it, it's the end of the conferences. I'll go wild. Good, okay, so, fuck me, that's getting everywhere. There we go. You're gonna want anything between 1 and 5 grams, depending on your experience level. So that will be the national cocktail. Just give it a little shake up. That will be the national cocktail on June the 21st. And fuck me, that's gone insane. Jesus Christ, it's exploded like Blojo. Crikey, we will obviously iron out the kinks by the time that actually goes out. But crikey, God, I know what all the Telegraph journalists feel like now. Right, let's jump over to our to our friends from the public rather than the media. So, yeah, make sure that you keep your questions coming in the YouTube chat box. I believe we've got a question from Sally in Romford. Sally in Romford. I'm just seeing if that's marked the ceiling. No, we're okay. Lovely.
Hi,
Sally.
Rafe. Really sorry it's the last one. We're going to miss you. I have a question about Scottish politics. What are your views about the current state of affairs with Scottish politics, and what do you think about the union with Scotland going forwards?
Well, Sally, you're absolutely right. I think your sentiment is echoes that of the national sentiment at the moment, which is devastation. And as I've said earlier, you are able to continue to be in contact with moi, Rafe, via LinkedIn. I don't know if you can see that. It says add Rafe Hubris on LinkedIn here. That's absolutely crucial. And Tinder Gold. RE Scotland, I'm not particularly worried about it, to be honest. I mean, I think, worried about Scotland's like worrying about the health of your cat. It's something to think about from time to time, but fundamentally, it doesn't really matter. And I rang the Scotch egg, Nicola Sturgeon, this week and said, Nicola, how are you? She grunts something. I don't really understand what she's saying. But the problem with her, she's hard to schmooze because you try and give her a peerage, try and give her an MBE, try and recommend her at Queen's Club, and she just doesn't want any of it. So it's difficult, but I'm sure we've got the intra Scotch Anglo cricket match that we'll have, and that'll win the round. In our back pocket if we need to use it. Sorry, who in London? Claudia Head in London. Crikey, chance would be a fine thing.
Hi, Rafe. So my question's about Carrie Simons. As a smart and capable woman myself, I think I can spot another when I see one, and it's quite clear to me who's actually pulling the levers in government. So my question to you is Carrie Simons running the country?
Well, firstly, thank you. Great surname. And yes, thanks very much. I believe we have a question now from Rory in Clapham. Rory. Rafe, hi, big fan. Out of the endless highlight reel that is your work in government, what would you say you're most proud of? I know it'll be hard to choose from. All right, mate, chat soon, chat. Well, can I just say, what an excellent question. What an excellent type of questioner. Lovely accent, love the stubble, looking great, mate. And it's really nice to see such a high level on this last Zoom. And yes, what an interesting question that I would respond to. Look, I think fundamentally the key theme that I've applied throughout my work in government is my integrity, and that is an absolutely unwavering thing, and in the face of thousands of people dying, I made promises to my friends and I stood by those promises, and I had the integrity to U-turn at the right moment, school meals, when I realized that not feeding starving children was bad. And I think you might ask, where did I learn my integrity? And the fact is you don't, you're just bred with it. And then, at Eton, it's reinforced. And luckily, there are a lot of us Etonian chaps in government, and we continue to work with integrity. So it would be that. And can I just say once again, really, really nice vibe from that questioner. Do keep submitting your questions onto the YouTube chat. We've got a question from Gary Smith who asks, have you been advising the EU on their vaccine rollout? Yeah, you've misspelled that as well on there. I think you mean THEIR rather than THERE. That must be somewhere from Cambridge University. Classic. No, mate, I mean, we've kind of cut ties with the EU, thankfully, ever since we had to go for that fucking disastrous dinner and, with Ursula von Dracula, and Blojo was, checking out so many classic jokes, she just wasn't up for it. No, I mean, yeah, I won't be dealing with the EU again, in the near future. I'm far too busy organizing this classic night out. And can I just say, what an excellent cocktail it was. If you've just started watching, oh my goodness, it tastes absolutely insane. And it'll have you bouncing off the walls. It's just immense, genuinely immense. Thank you very much, Gary. Do keep submitting your questions on YouTube. Ryan in Manchester has a question. Ryan.
Rafe, how are we? Happy Sunday. Have you asked Bully Patel about her alleged bullying?
Oh, thanks very much. Thanks very much for that, Ryan. Have I asked Bully Patel about her Billy? I don't need to ask her. It's very plain for everyone to see when she's pantsing, 6'7" civil servants in front of the office. I mean, she really is incredibly strong. I guess the question is, have I accosted Bully Patel about it? And the answer to that is, of course, yes, I have. We did it very, very cleverly. Basically, we gave her a written warning, which was clever because it meant that, we could say she'd been warned, but Bully Patel didn't get embarrassed because it was a written warning and, she can't read. So, we really covered all bases avec that one. Rich Sims on YouTube has a question. He says, can you confirm the government, spelt Goft, clearly he's a time-pressured man, is formally adopting the strategy of distraction, such as the Markle obsession or the passing of national treasures, in order to deflect from 14 months of reactionary policy? Well, the thing is, Rich, how would you suggest doing government, if not just sort of, making it up on the day? The fact is, this is probably, one of the worst things that Dominic Cummings said, when he said that he doesn't want cabinet to be made up entirely of Oxbridge, public school bluffers. That is the only way to do politics. So there's no need to distract. We're very proud of what we've done. And also, my personal policy on Harry and Meghan Markle, as I've said in previous weeks, is that, if I was going out with someone who was a 12 out of 10, I would literally do whatever she said. I'd cut off my hands. So, I don't think there's anywhere there. Izzy Lewis in East Anglia.
Hi, Rafe. My question is about the reports on the return of Rishi Sunak's Eat Out to Help Out scheme. So my question is, who is being eaten out and who is doing the eating out?
Oh, thanks very much. Who is Rishi Sunak is perhaps the more pertinent question. Interesting. I can't speak to Rishi Sunak. He sounds like a sort of a butt-ended entertainer. I can speak of Rishi Sunak, of course. And who is being eaten out? Well, that's a very interesting question. I think it depends on the politician or indeed the advisor that you're speaking to. I think the question with, did you enjoy the Eat Out to Help Out scheme, Izzy?
I did actually. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much myself.
And were you eaten out at any point?
Multiple times, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we love to see. That is what that shows you that is functioning healthily when Izzy here has been eaten out at multiple points. And I think, Izzy, on behalf of everyone in government, we are absolutely thrilled to hear that you've had it was regular eating out, or was it sort of lots of eating out in one little cluster? Was it discounted?
It was very discounted. I wasn't particularly much of a fan of it, but it did happen often. So I can't complain.
Well, I suppose it just depends where you eat out. But anyway, thanks very much for that, Izzy. That was a lovely exchange and lovely to see, the government facilitating eating out, especially given how sexually avaricious Blojo is. Harry from Brighton has a question. Harry from Brighton.
What are you going to do about the mental health crisis that is looming?
Fucking hell, Harry! Jesus, I thought it was only the Dubai princess that was being held hostage, not you as well. Jesus. God, it sounds like the mental health. It sounds like you're very much in the throes of the mental health crisis, old chap. No, but seriously, let's be absolutely clear when we talk about mental health. Mental health is seriously important in number 10. I can't stress that enough. We take it incredibly seriously. And did you know that lots of people have mental health? That's something that's important that we acknowledge. And we've made sure that we offer counselling to anyone who's ever worked with Priti Patel, for example. We've employed a Love Islander to act as an ambassador for mental health, which I think is a great move given the show's history with positive mental health. So it's absolutely a priority. We're working very hard on it, and we're doing very well. Stephen Richards on YouTube asks, how much humble pie should President Macron be eating the AZ vaccine U-turn? The old President Macaroon. The thing is, mate, AstraZeneca, as I believe you're referring to, you should never doubt an Oxbridge product, ever. We are fundamentally the best people, the best vaccines. Just look at the record. You've got Blojo, DC, Ghislaine Maxwell. It's just an endless set of absolutely classic chaps and chapettes. And vaccines and vaccinettes. I believe that's the feminine. So yeah, I mean, you know, he's looking very stupid, but he should have never doubted it in the first place. I think that's pretty obvious. Lee Thacker in South Wales. Lee Thacker.
Right, don't say Rafe, you're early. I'm just finishing my wine. If you'll bear with me for 5 seconds, I'll get a mouthful of red wine. Yeah, the question.
Sure.
Question is, where will the University of Exeter be on the vaccine rollout program? And secondly, is it true that you actually attended the BTEC Specialist Devon Further Education College, Exeter College, where you narrowly obtained a diploma in drama and media studies?
Well, thank you very much for that question, old chap. Let me just clarify early on. I was absolutely not associated. The only Exeter I was associated with is, of course, Exeter College, Oxford. I know that's caused a lot of confusion for a lot of people. I got one of the lowest 2-1s in history. In fact, it was a very high 2-2, but it was bumped up to a 2-1 using a Viva with my gift de la Gab, which I was very excellently able to apply. Your question was about Exeter. When will they be put on the vaccine scheme? Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that, you know, I'm not sure we should acknowledge that many places outside Exeter College, Oxford. I mean, there's already one Exeter. You know, do we need to bother with them? We'll look into it if we have time. But, you know, I think fundamentally our priority right now should be vaccinating the MILFs. But thank you very much for your question. David Bainbridge on YouTube asks, what is your personal view on a vaccine passport in Oxford Blue? Naturally, of course, it would never be in Cambridge Blue. What? Actually, it's not very well known fact. Sorry, I will. Fucking hell, chaps. Gavin Williamson's been operating the audio. I apologise. Either Gavin Williamson or Poppy. She's got great tips, but absolutely appalling knowledge of tech in all its manifestations. So, yeah, the question was from David Bainbridge, what is your personal view on a vaccine passport? He said, what is your personal views? Which, of course, is grammatically incorrect. Let's not be sloppy, chaps. And he says the vaccine passport in Oxford Blue, naturally. Of course, it would never be in Cambridge Blue. Cambridge Blue is a light blue. It's disgusting. And actually, just tangentially, I will just say that, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but Cambridge was actually formed by a couple of Oxford academics. So in that sense, in a very real sense, Cambridge very much is Oxford Poly, and that's really not worth forgetting. What do I think about a vaccine passport? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's absolutely key. I think we should be doing that with all kinds of, you know, viral venereal diseases. You know, one for chlamydia, it will make one-night stands a lot easier. Makes a lot of sense. So absolutely in favor of that. Who's the next question, please? Sam and Rob in Andover. Sam and Rob. On mute as well.
Hi, Rafe.
My question is murdering us tonight. Sorry, go ahead.
My question is, should Shamima Begum be allowed back into the UK, or should that be Begum?
Yes, well, I mean, you know just as much as I do, old chap. I mean, I don't know. I didn't recognise that. Who's Shamima Begum? Is that a girl I've dated, or a restaurant I've eaten in? I don't know. I mean, look, generally, if the question is, you know, should they be allowed in the UK? The answer is no. So I hope that helps. Do we have any more on the YouTube chat? We do. Rafe Hubris in Clapham first asked a question. Rafe Hubris in Clapham, do keep submitting on. Rafe, c'est moi encore une fois. Mate, out of all of your days in number 10, which would you say has been the hardest? Great to connect again. Cheers, mate. Ciao. Can I just say, chaps, I mean, the quality of questioning tonight has really been just next level. I mean, you know, you think you get to the highest bar, and you know, first I hear about people being eaten out and the government needs out a help out scheme, and then I get this, you know, just absolutely pristinely presented And a brilliant question. Yeah, look, there have been very many difficult days, you know, when I encounter adversity. Yeah. But, you know, I often let it slide off and delegate to someone else. But no, I mean, you know, I think the most challenging day was when it looked like Pret was going to close down. You know, I think we all were in a pretty dark place when that was happening. I mean, you know, if Pret goes under, I mean, I don't know what I'd do with myself. And also at that point, M&S, which I like to think of as sort of, you know, Pret Poly, that was also in a lot of trouble. So yeah, that was pretty rough. It's good to see Pret's turn the corner. But you know, I love Pret so much. I really just fucking love Pret. Like, yeah, even when they fuck up your coffee order, you know, and they give you like milk from a cow instead of oat milk, it's just a wonderful institution. I think it's, you know, it just makes you really proud to be a Brit, undoubtedly. But yeah, so Jamie from Cambridge has a question. Jamie from Cambridge.
Hey Rafe, how are we?
Yeah, very well.
Good.
Very well.
Good. So my question is a fuck, marry, kill. It's between Blojo, Matt Hancock, and Rishi Sunak.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I'm very surprised to hear such a sort of good quality question come from someone from Cambridge. Listen, I think you can't kill Matt Hancock in his hands because it's so much fun to wind him up. So you've got to keep him alive. Probably kill Sunak because he's irritatingly competent. Marry Blojo, obviously, and fuck cock in his hands, but not in the sexual sense, in the humiliation sense. Okay. Billy Bowback asks, sturgeon or salmon? Salmon or salmon. I mean, definitely salmon out of sturgeon and salmon. I fucking love salmon, smoked salmon as well. In fact, Pret do an incredible smoked salmon baguette. I'd have to say salmon because, yeah, he's a bloke. I don't think women are as good at politics. I mean, I'm sure they can be, but I just haven't ever seen it. So, yeah, and Nicola Sturgeon's pretty cold. You know, that's why we call her the Scotch egg, because she's just, yeah, a bit bland and not particularly fun. So I'd have to say salmon as far as that one goes. Chaps, make sure this is absolutely essential. I cannot stress this enough. There's a reason I've spent so much time toiling over these 6 episodes of it. Add me on LinkedIn. Let me further my career and indeed yours. I'd be very, very happy to get in touch. Sorry, it was a bit low because Bloody Patel did it and she doesn't understand geography or indeed writing. But chaps, listen, we come to the end. It's been an absolute pleasure to address you every week for 6 weeks. You know, I'm glad it's been so well received. It's been absolutely classic. And, you know, it's just been such a hard time for so many people. And it just makes you feel so proud to be British. I'd also like to leave you very quickly with the words of Edmund Burke, who said that the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Thankfully, the government has done so much, and I've been an inextricable part of that. Thank you, good night, and Floria Totona. Poppy, why the fuck didn't you let that girl in at the door? What the like? It's like it makes it seem bad if you don't let them in.